Make sure and download the 97.7 ESPN The Zone app today.
The crimson and white jerseys.
Front court to the rack and the plunge.
The sound of a buzzer beater.
Got it to go as the buzzer sounds.
The Roll Tide chant from the crowd. It can only be Alabama basketball. Join the Alabama Crimson Tide right here on your home for Alabama basketball.
Listen to Alabama basketball all season long on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
This will turn journalism on its ear.
Watch our stream on WZZN TV on Twitch and YouTube.
But you are the greatest hero in American history.
We are 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. Joe Hunk, John Abraham, 256-576-4977. Welcome to the Blitz.
Hello and welcome in to a Wednesday edition of the Blitz. John Abraham and Joe Hunk, 2 hours straight of Sports Talk, Goosecaps, and so much more as we get off and rolling after a very busy night. Not just on 97.7 ESPN The Zone, but over on WZZN TV as well. As we had a little bit of a Christmas party presented by Talent Heating and Air, as well as North Alabama Mortgage. And we were out at Field Day in Huntsville. And let's just say we had a very fun night.
We had a field day at Field Day?
We had a field day at Field Day. I'm pretty sure that's why it's called Field Day. So you could just say, we had a field day.
It's also because all of us remember Field Day.
Yeah. Field Day always was like the best of time whenever you were younger, and it still is.
The PE championships.
Oh, my gosh. It was wonderful. I remember just getting set loose to run outside, just have a wonderful time, show off people my backflip, even though we had some kids that were doing handsprings into backflips. I don't know.
It's like
gymnastics stuff.
It's like the PE championships, and then you had, which is what Field Day is, and then right underneath it are like turkey bowl things.
I would say the turkey bowl. I mean, look, just because you had your classmates around that you're going to see more than your family most of the time.
I just like messing with you with the turkey bowl.
Yeah, you do. You're trying to get my blood all boiled up, but it's not going to happen. But no, I remember having the football games out on Field Day, and we used to play tackle and all that stuff. It was always a wonderful time, even though it wasn't that safe. But regardless, it was a lot of fun out at Field Day yesterday. We had a lot of toys thrown our ways from our listeners. Of course, those are all going towards Toys for Tots. So thank you so much to our sponsors, as well as the listeners that came out, whether it was a check donation, whether it was a toy from one of the listeners, all right, brought a whole lot of the mobile oil, like cars, the ones with the eyeballs. Remember, Joe, back in like the 90s where you used to just drive them all over the place? Yeah. It was a whole lot of those. They were vintage toys that we're going to be throwing to the Toys for Tots. And I can't wait for the kids that are going to be deciding whether or not they want to open the packaging or not. Because you look on the bottom of it, it says 1998. I was like, this is freaking awesome.
Look, and also, like you were talking about the checks, the cash, all that stuff that was is donated as well. We're going to put that together, and we're going to then also hand over a check to Toys for Tots as well, so that they can go and purchase items for the family members that may not, as of right now, they may not have enough of. Yeah. They may have enough bikes. They may have enough of the, a transformer or something, but then there also may be, some young girls that don't have the dolls that they want, and they'll go and get those. So the cash donations also help as well, because it allows the Marines to be able to go and fill the void with other items, which is massive in these situations.
Now, it was a little sad. Didn't get to see you there, Joe, but you were busy as well. Of course, going over to the Huntsville Iceplex. We had the Havoc Hour last night on WZZN TV. It was very fun, very festive over there as well. And, of course, every single week you guys can catch it on WZZN TV. But now, I mean, that was the last show of the year, Joe.
I like the way you say you can catch it every week, but that's the last show. No, that was the last Havoc Hour until January 6th. Yeah. Next week is Christmas. Then the following Tuesday is when the Havoc are actually playing on the 30th. And so obviously can't really do a Havoc Hour right there.
Nope.
We could, but it would be,
don't put it in the minds of these people.
Because then, you'd have to be, then we're talking about trying to get some players that are on IR and all that because they're not going to be on the ice. And it's just a lot of, so that's going to be the last one. And then the first Tuesday after the new year is going to be January 6th. So that is what we were going to do. It was an absolutely tremendous show. And it was very festive with Christmas. We had two beautiful young 7-year-old girls that were on as they were getting ready for hockey practice to talk about playing at the Iceplex and playing hockey, and how one of them started off as a figure skater. I think they both started off as figure skaters, and that's how they learned to skate. It goes, but then they tried hockey and they found out that they were actually better at hockey than what they were figure skating.
They're bruisers.
So they transitioned over to just playing hockey. And the great thing is once the show wrapped up, John and I were actually able to watch them practice because they were on the ice scrimmaging while John and I were packing up, and all the Havoc fans were kind of, saying, talking to Berkey and talking to Gio. So that was really good. Those two guys, I mean, we had them for 30 minutes because we actually talked a lot longer with Coach Stu than what we normally do. And we had those guys on for 30 minutes, and we probably could have went just an hour and a half.
Yeah, you told me how easy it was to talk to those guys. Some of the notes that you had for them, I mean, weren't even there. So it's like, all right, just a casual conversation.
And for anybody that knows, I do a ton of research on everybody. Matter of fact, we just posted a video with UAH of what we call a Charger chat, and what it was Quentin Tolles, who's the leading scorer for UAH in basketball. And we were going through the Shine Time car wash, and I did so much research on him that he and I talked for 2 hours straight, but only 8 minutes of it was actually caught on film. Like, that's just how much I learned about him. And the same thing goes for those guys. So I research a ton. Problem is I forgot to hit the save button before setting everything up for the show.
How is it not on autosave?
And so John walks in, and I was like, hey, let me turn my computer off so that you can set up your laptop so that you can, run the show. And I just shut it off and just started going about my time. And then I didn't even remember it with Coach Stu. And so I'm sitting and just talking to him about the weekend, talking about Christmas, all the stuff that we're talking about. And then Gio and Berkey sit down, and I go, I don't have any notes. I was like, we're about to totally just off the cuff.
Wait. So you're saying this is my fault?
No, actually, I'm not. I'm saying that I should have done something and saved it, and then I totally forgot to do it. And so it wasn't on you at all. Like, I was very thankful that you were there because you could have stayed at field day.
Yeah.
And you could have been over there for the whole time, but instead you came over and helped us out, which I'm glad you did, because last night was arguably the best Havoc Hour that we have had so far.
I could agree.
And Gio and Bergen, I did not need any of the notes. Anything that I had pre-planned or any questions that I had thought up that I wanted to ask the guys, none of them. Because Berkey, he's won 2 championships, not just in hockey, but also in roller hockey.
Yeah.
The last time that we had him on, he hadn't been named a D3 All-American yet. Like, a lot of stuff with Berkey, because he is only with the team for 7 games, we didn't get to talk to him about the last time he was on the Havoc Hour, so we got a little bit more in depth. I didn't get to ask any of those things because of how many people were throwing questions in that were really interesting questions with those two guys. So if you did miss it, that's on WZZN TV. You can go rewatch the entire thing. Everybody was great. Coach Stefan was fantastic because we talked to him about Christmas, making sure that he'd got all of his Christmas presents and stuff going. And he is a huge Christmas guy. mean, Christmas lights all over the house, doing Christmas events. Like that was awesome to hear about as well. So it was a fantastic show. You need to go to WZZN TV to watch it if you did happen to miss it. And then January 6th, we're going to be back at Zambruski's for the 2026 versions of the Havoc Hour.
No doubt. And we're looking very much forward to it. But we're also looking towards Friday, of course, Alabama at Oklahoma for the first round of the college football playoffs. A lot of speculation, a lot of conversation around this game going to be happening in the next few days. Of course, today we're going to be talking a little bit of the Oklahoma side of things in the second hour. John Hoover from Sooners on SI will be joining us to talk a little bit about what John Mateer and this whole squad have in store for Alabama. Funny thing enough is the defense is what I think we should be worried about for the Crimson Tide fans. For Oklahoma, man, you got 2 wins against this Alabama team in a row. I think you should be feeling pretty confident, at least more confident than any other team in all of college football right now, because nobody has been playing the Tide like the Oklahoma Sooners has been. But we'll be getting into that conversation throughout today's show. We'll also be talking a little bit of what the hell Michigan is going to do. Of course, their players feeling a little bit betrayed, says Biff Poggi. And he's the interim coach that's going to be holding this Michigan team against a Texas squad in the Citrus Bowl, or what is it, the Cheez-It Bowl? Are they playing the Cheez-It Bowl?
I don't know. I don't pay. Literally, if you're not in the college football playoff, I'm not paying attention to anything you're doing.
At this point, it doesn't really matter. They're all just kind of thrown out into these bowl games.
They just become comfort things that you put on television. Like it's crap, we don't have anything. I've already watched a ton of Christmas. Hey, look, there's a bowl game on. All right, let's just put that on while we do stuff around the house.
Yeah, a little bit of bowl. It's a football on the screen. That's all it is.
Football, but the whole thing again is that they're scrimmage games.
Yeah.
Because we obviously now look, I will say that the NIL portion of this is helping with a lot of players staying in and making sure that they're playing in these games, because now a lot of these NIL deals that players are signing, the only way that they get like their final paycheck or however this is working, if they get paid weekly like the NFL, that one of their checks is based on them playing in the bowl game if the team plays in the bowl game. Yeah. So that's the reason why you're not hearing about as many opt-outs right now. But what's going to be really affected by this is going to be your post-January 2nd games, which there's not as many because of the way that we have designed the college football playoff and other bowl games. But once the portal opens, that's when you're going to start seeing less players playing in it.
Yeah, and out of all of the games, though, that might not matter as much. The Cheez-It Citrus Bowl, yes, it's a combined name.
It's it is the bowl game that will make you throw up in your mouth, and it's not because of anything happening on the field.
But it is one of the better games. Michigan versus Texas is an appealing game, but when you think about it, of course, you're not going to have the head coach for Michigan. But, neither is Ole Miss as they head into, of course, the college football playoffs this Saturday with Pete Golden. So, it's an interesting dynamic that college football is in. A lot of people like to say it's ruined. I think it's getting better and better. And, of course, it's going to have some growing pains. But speaking of those bowl games, we did have one of them on our airways last night after all the action kind of came to an end. Jack State versus the Troy Trojans. Very close, low-scoring game. They had to all leave with flak jackets. I'm just kidding.
I'm not.
Joe, you're not kidding. You lived in Montgomery.
I lived there.
You know exactly what to expect out of that place.
No, absolutely not. You'd be sitting at the Crampton Bowl going, are they shooting fireworks? It is 9:00 on a Tuesday.
But it was a
those aren't fireworks.
Defensive battle. And of course, Jack State did come out on top. Troy did their best to hold them to just 17 points. But they only got 13 on the board themselves. Neither quarterback threw over 200 yards. And, of course, Tucker Kilreese for the Troy Trojans had 2 interceptions. So Jack State's defense really shored up. Still impressive, though. If you take away those interceptions, how much different would this game be? I feel like both teams could be a winner in this one. And honestly, at this point
they are all winners.
They're all winners in this bowl game.
All winners.
They're all winners.
I just hope the kids had fun.
Yeah,
I did. I just hope they had fun.
I do too. But we have a lot more fun things to get into. But it's all presented by our wonderful friends over at Fleming Roofing and Restoration. The guys you need to talk to about all of your roofing needs. If you're having any roofing problems, make sure you look them up online at FlemingHSV.com to fill out your free quote today. And remember that Fleming always shows up.
The starting quarterback for Jack State's last name is Creel?
Yeah. He's Creel. Okay. He's Creel like that.
He's the third coolest krill that I'm going to hear about in the month of
I
December.
was going to say it was Creel, but it's Creel.
No, it's krill. See, because you also don't watch Stranger Things. Victor Krill, Henry Krill.
Did two E's equals a Krill instead of a Creel?
No, that's just how I'm saying. That's the reason why I say it like that is because Victor and Henry Krill from Stranger Things.
I got you. All right.
Come on, man.
I'm not going to question you.
bless
You watch Stranger Things? I haven't watched all of it.
Also, after the Havoc Hour, I found out that both Gio and Berkey are both huge Stranger Things fans.
So is it like most of America?
I know. But they said, we're glad you didn't ask us a Stranger Things question. I said, why? He goes, because that would have been the only thing we would have talked about for the rest of the show.
Ooh.
I was like, no. We can power everything back up right now.
No.
We can go part 2 of this sucker.
Nah, you can talk to him later.
Like, we can go because everybody's counting down to Alabama, Oklahoma, and I'm looking down going, all right, 8 days. 8 days until we see what happened because of what happened in episode 4. 8 days.
Well, we are going to get into some other conversations outside of Stranger Things, and you guys are able to join in on those conversations at 256-576-97.7. Whether you're listening here in Huntsville, you're listening up in Tennessee with ESPN in Winchester, or all around the country, or possibly even the world on our ESPN app. What are you laughing at,
I'll
Joe?
answer that when we come back here in just a few moments because we just got a message on WZZN TV. And so I'll have an answer for you when we come back because even though John says we're talking about things other than Stranger Things, oh no, it's now a conversation in the WZZN TV chat. We'll continue with that. We're going to talk more because Joel Klatt just had an absolute just rant about the college football playoff and about how the NCAA basketball tournament is a joke. And so we will have that because he was on with our friends down in Birmingham on the next round. And it was a tremendous interview on this. And I honestly, there's some things that just like the Joker, there's a little bit of truth in some of the madness. Wait till you hear that when we come back. Phone lines are open to you, 256-576-977 as we continue on the Blitz on ESPN Winchester, WZZN TV, and 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is The Blitz with Joe Hunk and John Abraham. 256-576-4977.
If hunting and outdoor recreation are your passions, it all starts with the right property. That's where I come in. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction, a hunting and recreational land specialist and a Jackson County native who sees land through a hunter's eyes. Just as you trust your guide on a big game hunt, you can trust me to find the perfect property for you. Thinking of selling? Let me help you make your land attract buyers. Remember, Bo knows land. Call me at 256-609-0512.
In the market for a new or used car? Look no further than Hyundai of Decatur. With a large inventory of new, used, and certified pre-owned Hyundai models, Greenway Hyundai of Decatur is here to service all of your Hyundai needs. Come visit our exceptional service department as well. With state-of-the-art facilities and a caring team of automotive professionals waiting to service your vehicle, make Hyundai of Decatur your #1 choice for all your automotive needs. Give them a call today at 256-274-0279 or visit them online at greenwayhyundaiofdecatur.com.
Tom Luganville here for my friends at the service department at Woody Anderson Ford. When you need service on your vehicle, whether it's a Ford or any other make, you want to get into Woody Anderson Ford where their expert service technicians will get it diagnosed and repaired right away, the right way. And while you are there, check out all the new and pre-owned vehicles at Woody Anderson as well. They are ready to make you the best deal possible. Visit Woody Anderson Ford today.
Woody Anderson Ford on Jordan Lane in Huntsville, Hughes Road in Madison, and online at WoodyAndersonFord.com.
I'm attorney Gary Lackey. I know your accident is the real thing, and they happen to real people.
I'm attorney Justin Lackey. There's a lot of talk right now about bigger, but when you've had a wreck, is bigger better?
I'm attorney Jennifer Lackey. Do you want to be just a case number?
With offices in Huntsville and Scottsboro, we take the time to help.
The Lackey Law Firm. The Lackey Law Family. 1-800-4-RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Tom Abraham here for my friends at All About Water. Crazy name, huh? Well, let me introduce you to them. All About Water is the top pond builder anywhere in the Tennessee Valley, and that includes remodeling or cleaning out existing ponds as well. They also have monthly maintenance plans for your pond. Don't have a pond? Well, how about a fountain or water feature for your property to bring that soothing sound of running water to your happy place? On the other hand, Maybe you have water on your property that you don't want. Well, Ryan at All About Water is all about water, so he could take care of that as well. He has a background in fluid dynamics, and what that means is that he can take care of any water issue that you have. Finally, how about that irrigation system that you have or that you want? Well, they do installs and maintenance and repairs on those as well because they are all about water. Learn more at allaboutwaterllc.com. That's allaboutwaterllc.com.
Announcing the 97.7 ESPN The Zone Baumhower's Bracket Challenge. Sign up now at our Facebook page, 977 ESPN, or just go to ESPN.com Fantasy. Click on the Bracket Challenge and search Baumhower's Bracket Challenge. Presented by 97.7 ESPN The Zone to get in. The grand prize, an overnight stay at the historic Battle House Renaissance Mobile Hotel. Dinner for two at Delphins. And a complimentary beverage and dessert at La Floriditas, Mobile's only Cuban-inspired speakeasy. The 97.7 ESPN The Zone Baumhower's Bracket Challenge. Sign up closes on the 19th, so get in today.
Tom Abraham here for my friend Mike Owen at Owen Home Appliance Center. Are those new school clothes wearing out that old washer and dryer? Well, it's time to get off the bus at Owen Home Appliance Center and learn what a new Speed Queen washer can do for you. They're in stock and are ready for delivery now. At Owen Home Appliance Center, quality products, quality pricing, quality service. It's right there in the name, Owen Home Appliance Center. 2 locations to serve you, Highway 36 in Somerville and the interactive location at Highway 231 in Lacey Springs, just 8 miles south of the river.
Your Fox 54 weather.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. Staying mild as we head into the overnight. Temperatures only dropping into the lower 40s. Showers and thunderstorms likely as we head into Thursday afternoon. None of that activity should be severe, though, but we are talking about some pockets of heavier rain. This activity going to be associated with a cold front. Temperatures climbing into the upper 50s, lower 60s Thursday, but we're only going to be in the mid 40s on Friday with sunshine.
Your Fox 54 weather. Only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Talking ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Weekday mornings beginning at 7 a.m. Only on 97.7 ESPN and the 97.7 ESPN The Zone app.
You can't let everyone step foot in your house, more so in your life. Why you really knocking at my door?
Hello and welcome back into the Blitz. John Abraham, Joe Hunk, here with you guys for 2 hours straight of sports talk, goofs, gaps, and so much more. Make sure you guys take advantage of all that we got going on here at 97.7 by heading over to our website, 977ESPN.com, or any of our social medias at the same name. Find that Baumhower's College Football Playoff Bracket Challenge. Click to enter and get in on that bad mamma jamma because there are a lot of good prizes that you guys can win. The grand prize is the one to really look at. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I am excited because this is like a little taste. This is a sliver of what the March Madness Bracket Challenge is going to be like. But some people want to say that all of this bracketing is a little bit worse for college sports, and I want to know your opinions on it, Joe, as well as some others.
Well, it's more about, okay, what is the right structure here?
Yeah.
Okay, like that's going to always be the conversation because now we're 2 days away from the college football playoffs starting. You've got Alabama and Oklahoma going to be starting at Friday night. Then you have all the games on Saturday that are going to be going on throughout the day. And so the conversation is, why X being the college football playoff is different than Y. It's in being the NCAA basketball tournament and why we want one and why we don't want another, and so be it and so be it. And so the next round down in Birmingham, which there's some more about those guys and a lot of people in Birmingham I wanted to mention here in just a little bit. But the Joe Klatt was on with those guys and he was talking about the difference between the two. And the biggest part about this is the aspect of the Cinderella.
Yeah.
We love this in college basketball. Like that literally fuels the NCAA basketball tournament. Like Thursday and Friday, the biggest question that everybody asks each other as they're sitting at a bar watching the games at work or whatever, we're like, so who'd you choose for your upset? Like who do you have upsetting who? Like who do you think is going to happen? Like that's the whole conversation. That doesn't happen in the college football tournament because just a little bit more rare. So Joe Klatt had a thought about that yesterday during this conversation with the next round.
The reason the group of five is included in this playoff is to avoid antitrust litigation. That's it, guys. Like we're not looking for a Cinderella. Nobody cares in football about James Madison or the equivalent of George Mason going. Didn't George Mason go to the Final Four or something like that? Nobody cares in football about that. We don't want Cinderellas. We want the best teams playing each other at the end.
I mean, that's not wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he's also not wrong about the group of 5 being involved, because in all reality, we could sit here and we could name 6, 7, heck, maybe 10 teams that could beat James Madison and Tulane right now. And I'm not even talking about the ones that are in the college football playoff. I'm talking about the ones that are playing in the nasty Cheez-It Citrus Bowl.
Possibly not even inside of the top 25.
Yeah, I mean, that's sort of the conversation when it comes to these teams. Now, I'm not saying that Tulane and James Madison are just absolute garbage football teams. I'm not saying that.
Nobody wants to disrespect these teams, but when it comes down to what we've seen in the past with the BCS championship games, there's been a few teams that are that have that Cinderella tale behind them. The Boise States, the Northern Illinois, there is those teams, but in a bracket like this, compared to what we're seeing over in the basketball sense, it is so much harder for a team not just to win one game, but to win a bunch of games against some of these teams. So why are they here in the first place?
You have to win 6 games to win the national championship in the NCAA basketball tournament.
Yeah,
because you have to win 2 the first weekend, then you have to win 2 the second weekend to just get you to the Final Four.
Yep.
Then you have to win the Final Four in the national championship. So you have to go on at least a 6-game winning streak against the best teams in the college basketball. That's what it is. And so Klatt even brings up the NCAA basketball tournament. He says, look, this is an absolute just joke.
Hot take. I mean, the hottest of all takes that I've ever had in my entire life.
Okay.
The NCAA basketball tournament is a joke. It's the dumbest tournament and the least fair tournament in all of sports. We go and we put teams at odd times on neutral sites in a 1-game affair. That doesn't crown a true champion. We're not doing anything that tells us who's the best team over the course of the entire season.
I see. Okay. All right. I am against his hot take to say what he did, but at the same time, yes, this isn't going to prove exactly who the best team in college basketball is, because it's such a wide range of teams that are playing in this. I mean, it's a 1 against a 16, and then it goes from there. But at the same time, I feel like this is more of a chance to have a 16 team get a few more rounds up compared to one of the best teams in all of college basketball.
Well, the idea of the NCAA basketball tournament is what has also fueled the college football playoff tournament to continue playing at neutral sites. Because if you were to flip this around, and the biggest argument that I make year in and year out, show in and show out, is that every single one of these college football playoff games should be just like they're going to be this weekend. They should be played on the home field of the higher seeded teams, because they have earned that right to be able to wake up in their own beds, their own dorms, their own local hotels that they've stayed in 6 and 7 times this season, and be able to get up and go to the stadium that they practice in, play in, do everything else in that they need to do in. That should be the reward for winning 11, 12, 13 games on the football season. But because in college basketball, you have so many 12-5 upsets, and now you're starting to get more 13-4 upsets, and you're starting to, and it's even the lower of the lower seeds, your 15-2s, and yes, we've even had 16-1. Because those games are happening on neutral sites, the NCAA, and not the NCAA, but in this idea, the College Football Playoff Committee is saying, look, neutral sites balance things out, which kind of in reality, that's what happened last year, because you had teams that played in the first round, and every single one of those teams that played in the first round made it through the second round when you got to the neutral site side of things. So that's the reason it's neutral site is best. If you were to flip this around in the college basketball tournament, and you were to see UMBC have to go play Kansas in Lawrence, Kansas, there's no chance on earth they'd get within 20. It's just the home court advantage is such a big deal in college basketball, if not as much, maybe even more so sometimes in what you talk about in college football, that you would have more chalk. through the whole tournament. If it was just the Sweet 16, Elite 8, Final Four, National Championship that were neutral site, you would have more chalk in the first and second round if these games were played on the home sites.
You would. And I agree that that's where it kind of goes off the rails, where it's like, are we truly going to be, crowning the best team in all of basketball? Because what happens when you don't have that 12th man or with a crowd around you? Because that is a part of a team. That has always been a part of a team all the way up until in the NFL, the Super Bowl. In the MLB, it's all the way through.
Oh, yeah.
In the NHL, it's all the way through. The crowds
NBA,
are a part of the teams themselves. But I do think that is what makes the basketball tournament a little bit more fair. Does it make college football more fair that they have the first round at all of these home advantages? And then they switch it up whenever the teams that are the better teams in the top 4.
Yeah,
they don't get to play at their home.
No,
so it's a little bit
great
weird
for Indiana. You get to go to the Rose Bowl, but the thing is it would be much better for the community if you were playing this game at home. It would be much better for the community in the semifinal rounds if you were playing this game at home.
Well, could you see in the future they possibly flip it around, whereas that first round is neutral site, the second round is going to be at a home field advantage.
What I think will eventually happen, because I do think that eventually somebody is going to come to their senses about this, is I think that instead of you having this at AT&T Stadium in the Cotton Bowl presented by, I don't know, AT&T, whatever it's presented by now.
Well.
I mean, whatever it's presented by now, or Goodyear, that's what it is. You would now have the first round of the college football playoffs presented by Goodyear, and Goodyear would have their logo on the field, like on the 20-yard line or something.
Yeah.
Like, I think that would be more likely to start happening, where every single time you go to a commercial break, it's going to be a Goodyear sponsorship, because you're not making, I want to say that brands right now, and yes, if you're listening right now and you're going to use this idea, just give me some credit, is I think that at some point in time, brands are going to say, okay, we will get more out of the money that we are spending in the college football playoff if we do this where we are sponsoring a round and the game is being played at the home site. So the game is being played at Bryant-Denny Stadium, and then the very first commercial every time they go to break is a Goodyear commercial. Like, that's something along, that, or you have the Goodyear on the field, or you have, welcome to College Football Bowl Week brought to you by Goodyear. Like, you'll have those things, I think, would be the better way of doing this. And I also think that the companies that are sponsoring these are going to see more return on their investment than what they would if they're sponsoring a bowl game. There's a reason we're losing bowl games now. It's because the money that these companies have invested in there to be a sponsor of it are not getting the return back. Plus, nobody's showing up to these games. I mean, again, go look at the pictures from the LA Bowl. Go look at that.
It gets pretty bad.
I don't even think friends and family came to that.
So,
like, I genuinely don't.
I brought this idea up to you, Joe, and now we're flipping over to some of the bowl games, how we make those relevant again, and on top of that, how we keep money within college football, even though there's plenty of it. But with them keeping these bowl games, it's also reducing other bowl games that just can't keep up at this point, because
your
of course,
LA Bowls,
college football playoffs,
Bowls,
the college football playoffs are kind of negating that altogether. You just want to be in the college football playoffs. If not, you could opt out and just get a slap on the wrist, or your Notre Dame, you don't really get any punishment. Do we think of like an NIT type situation? I brought this up to you, and then I saw a post about it later, and I was just like, that's kind of like my idea. Why wouldn't we want to see something like that, to where we have another smaller bracket or maybe a bigger bracket for some of these other schools?
I just don't think that the viewership is there. I mean,
what if they were regionalized brackets?
I mean, it's in two. I also don't think that the players would be on board for wanting to play this.
No.
I mean, now you're wanting me to play in a tournament that's not going to get me anything. Like, are we going to do it? The only way that you would get this to happen is if you start doing it very similar to what Vegas just did with their basketball tournament, and the winner of said NIT tournament is actually going to get a $5 million NIL purse.
Well, think
something
about it.
Like that.
If we have like an east, like a northeast, a southeast, and then we have a northwest and a southwest tournament, it doesn't make it to where the field is huge, but it includes every single team that's going to be inside of a bowl game. But it also gives them more incentive to play 3 extra games. They're going to have to obviously play against other opponents, but we can make it to where the tournament goes down to the best of the best in the Southeast. That's not inside of the college football playoff. Vice versa for every other region. And then the team that comes out on top can have a little champion near their name at the end of the season and also get paid a little bit of money. And anybody who plays an extra game might get a little extra slice. And also the swag bags. There's plenty of swag bags to go around.
I don't think that the swag bags didn't have as much pull in 2025 as what they did in 2008.
Little helmet with the salute to service bowl on it.
No, yeah.
I get an Xbox bag.
Oh,
the Xbox.
These are Beats. I'm not really a Beats guy. I mean, does anybody else want these? I mean, I've already got mine. Like I'm good. Like that.
I got 7 pairs.
Yeah, I've got my
quarterback.
I've got my JBLs in here. They're better than this. Like that's what you're saying. 256-576-4977. Let's go to the phone lines.
We got Wolverine Dan up first. Wolverine Dan, what's up, man?
Well, it was a good party. Everybody enjoyed the Christmas party. It was great to see. All the legends showed up, and great to see her ma showed up. It was great to see her, and can't complain. I thought I was going to be the best dressed man, but you know what? I'm going to have to comment. Well, I'm going to have to hand over my my trophy to LSU Lynch, man.
Man, he came in styling.
Yeah, man, he walked in. Now check it out. You ever see those hats that like the old guys wear when they go fishing? The rim that goes all the way around.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of those, and it was a Whataburger hat, all right, sunglasses, and he wore a Santa suit, a Santa jacket, long one, is almost an orange with the fluffy stuff and everything. A rubber one, too, was rubber. And then to top it all off, he has, now this is cool. We took a picture of it and video and sent it to my brother-in-law because he's a big Kiss fan.
Throw it my way, too, if you can.
It was Gene Simmons in a Christmas setup where it's all Christmas around him. And I don't know how he made the tongue move, but the tongue got longer and it kept flapping.
I told him if that was a few inches lower, he might catch a charge.
I know. I said, well, how are you making that go like that? So I didn't ask him, but maybe he can explain on the radio because I don't know how that tongue kept moving like that. It's crazy.
He's a magic man.
So he was definitely he took the trophy. I'll say it. I got to say it.
Hey,
so it is what it is. But
look, Wolverine Dan, you were very stylish though. I was thinking that you might wear a little bit more of the Wolverines. I saw a little bit of the houndstooth on you though, and that was I was all for it though.
Well, in other places, they don't call it houndstooth.
Yeah.
They just call it good taste.
Well, you're wearing it in Alabama.
Down here, it's kind of, well, you know what? I could have went the other way with Alabama. Instead of wearing a houndstooth jacket, I could have had a box of Tide on my head with 2 roller papers on either side.
You could have had that. You could have had it. I'm saying it looked good, though, regardless of whether you're rocking the Crimson Tide or not. It's a good little look.
Yeah. Maybe when I leave this world, I can give you my wardrobe, or you and Joe could share it because it's all slim fit now. You got to be big on top and thin on the bottom. Okay, so
that's about right.
If you've got that shape, you're in.
Okay. I think I can fit that.
Your dad's got that middle age shape where it's middle age to later in life shape.
Yeah. He's built like an upside down bowling pin.
Oh. I'll have to tell him you said that. Boy, he doesn't listen to your show, does he?
No.
Not often. No, my brother's actually listened to my show more than he does, funny enough.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, you guys
look, in his defense, he is in Winchester, and I mean, God forbid we have an app that you can listen anywhere.
Or, he can listen to the first hour.
Or WZZN TV. You can watch it there.
Or ESPN Winchester.
Or ESPN Winchester. You can listen to it there. I mean, again, I understand.
It's tough.
In my closing, listen, guys, this week we have the Wiener Dog race at the Havoc on Thursday night, and then Friday night, I'm not sure what Friday night is, but I know the Wiener race.
Which to me, it's Peanuts night.
I enjoy that one a lot. What is it?
It's Peanuts Christmas night.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the Wiener race is a highlight. I always have to watch that because it's hilarious. It really is. So.
It is a fun one.
All right, man. Listen, fellas, I enjoyed last night. Good to see you. I didn't see Joe. I know you're busy, Joe. But
yeah, we had Havoc Hour, and so I was over at the Iceplex doing that. Yeah.
If there's one thing,
next time, maybe. Yeah.
If there was one thing I could have changed about last night, obviously, I wish I could have been in 2 places at once. But if we could have gotten the Havoc Hour and the Drive stream on some of those TVs over at Field Day, that would have been
sense.
It would have been perfect.
That'd
It
be
would have
great.
made a lot of
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, I the 2-in-1 kind of combo at that place would have been great. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
100%.
I just wasn't
Anyway,
there.
hey guys, the venue's great. My wife and I even got a picture thing where little booths where you go in with your loved one and make silly faces.
Nice.
We did that, and the murals are beautiful. God, this guy was very talented. And the place has got one bar that's got to be probably, I'd say, 50 yards long.
Yeah.
And it's a nice place. They did a really good job with it. You really should check it out. They put some thought and money involved in it.
No doubt. Wolverine Dan, man, we appreciate you and so glad you were able to show up.
All right, man. See you.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Good stuff from him.
When we come back, we're going to continue taking your phone calls as well. And Jay in the chat on WZZN TV, which is you can get your comments in as well, especially if you're at work, which this next couple of days may be the last day of work that a lot of people are doing for the entire year until 2026. And he says, Joe, is an 11-year-old too young to watch Stranger Things? He's already on season 3, and I don't know anything about it.
Ignorance is bliss.
If he is already on season 3, he's already seen a bunch of messed up crap.
Too far gone.
So yeah, you're good on this. In my defense, and hopefully my wife's not listening, my son is only 7, and we're going through season 1 right now of it. And he's also watched The First Shadow, which is the Broadway play. So he watched that with me as we always get to practice early, and sometimes the doors are locked at Hazel Green. So we got to wait for somebody to come unlock the doors.
Gotcha.
So we'll just be sitting there watching TV, and he'll be like, put Stranger Things on.
Totally makes sense.
So that's what we do. So my son's 7 and he's watching it, and it's cool because it's going to allow you as somebody that if you even were born in the 80s or grew up in the 80s and 90s, you'll be able to explain a lot of like the music. They'll get into the music. Like my son's just walking around singing, "Should I Stay or Should I Go?" Like it's that sort of stuff.
Well, no, he probably watched the Gang pilot actually over on the Pinky Out Gang YouTube.
No, he didn't. And it was, no, it's like Tom and the Blitz. Just don't watch it. And it is one that I'm watching right now that like he now knows the Metallica song. And that's, I mean, he knows Master of Puppets because of Stranger Things.
If you want to mold him into a cool kid, then just watch it maybe with him. I don't know. Yeah. I'm just saying. But regardless, he's already 3 seasons.
And I emphasize this. Do not let him watch Welcome to Derry on HBO Max. I just finished that season. That is not meant for an 11-year-old. That's barely meant for a 40-year-old.
No, I'm looking forward to watching some of that.
And it involves a bunch of kids.
Yeah.
Do not let them watch that.
256-576-97.7, whether you want to talk sports or talk a little bit of pop culture, television, games, all of that stuff. We do it here on the Blitz on 97.7 ESPN The Zone, ESPN Winchester, and WZZN TV. Brandon, you will be up next when we get back.
Joe Hunk, John Abraham, 256-576-4977. This is The Blitz on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Drivers who switch to Progressive have an annual savings of nearly $750. Progressive.com.
College basketball tonight at the Coleman Coliseum. The Crimson Tide of Alabama laying 15.5 points against South Florida, 181.5 the total. Jacksonville State laying 3.5 against Eastern Kentucky at the Pete Matthews Coliseum. UAB an 18.5 point home favorite at Bartow Arena against Cleveland State. At South Alabama, 10.5 point road favorites at ULM. College football coming up on Friday. Alabama in the first round of the college football playoff. A 1.5 favorite at Oklahoma. 40.5 the total. Alabama head coach Kalen DeBoer shutting down talk that he'll be the next head coach at Michigan. For more, go to VSIN.com. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Hey folks, Bob Baumhauer here. We're extremely proud that Baumhauer's Victory Grill has been serving Alabama for 43 legendary years. Our motto is legendary fun, legendary food, and we strive to make every dining experience a special one for all of our guests. Our menu features delicious, always fresh and scratch-made in-house recipes. And of course, our award-winning wings and sauces. And don't forget, our happy hour and halftime daily specials cannot be beat. Baumhauer's Victory Grill. Legendary fun, legendary food.
At Stella at 5 Points, living isn't just about having an apartment, it's about living artfully. Imagine waking up with the upscale feel of Atlanta or Nashville right here in the heart of Huntsville. Modern, stylish apartments, open layouts, stainless steel appliances, and resort-inspired amenities. Nestled in vibrant 5 Points, you'll enjoy walkability, parks, dining, and quick access to downtown without the chaos. Stella at 5 Points. Live artfully. Live Stella.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
A wise man once said, "If you take care of old folks and children, everything in the middle will take care of itself."
Hi, I'm Danny Aldridge, lawyer in Alabama and Tennessee. In the next 20 years, the number of those folks over 65 years of age will more than double. In our golden years, the most important goal is to be treated with dignity and have control over doing what makes you grateful with those you love. At the Aldridge Law Firm and the Legal Town Center, we're dedicated to help you with these goals, and we'll be there when life throws you those inevitable curveballs. Let us assist you with your legal needs, whatever they may be or become. You may reach us by phone at 256-534-3188 or online with Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Just remember, we're here to help. Whether it's personal injury, wrongful death, fraud and cheat, or estate planning made complete, we're here to help.
Exceptional outcomes start with exceptional therapists, and that's what you'll find at Johnson & Hayes Physical Therapy. With 7 convenient locations across North Alabama, Johnson & Hayes offers expert care close to home. Our experienced clinicians specialize in everything from orthopedic and neurological rehab to TMJ, pelvic health, and lymphedema therapy. Johnson & Hayes is trusted by physicians and by patients across the region. Visit johnsonandhayes.com and see why outcomes matter at Johnson & Hayes.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
Eagle Masonry and Installation. It's right there in the name. Eagle is your one-stop shop for block, stone, or brickwork, monument signs, and outdoor kitchens and fireplaces. Eagle also offers the finest craftsmanship and insulation, including fiberglass or spray foam insulation, and of course, insulation removal. Philip Love and his team have years of experience bringing the region the best in masonry and insulation services. For more information and a quote, visit insulatewitheagle.com or call 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you.
And Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
From 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Let's party!
Welcome back into the Blitz. John Abraham, Joe Hunk. Kids nowadays watching Stranger Things. Man, I was out here watching Hot Wheels Acceleracers. Thing that I did. And I thought whenever a guy got left into the warp realm like that was bad. What was Brandon watching back then? Brandon, how you doing, brother?
Man, I watched a lot of Chico and the Man and Fred Sanford, all the stuff my dad watched.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. All right.
Chico and the Man said a lot of stuff back in the day that would get a whole network put under today.
Yeah, I mean, I watched The Godfather when I was a little boy, so I guess that's one thing. And
Yeah, I mean, I have to sit back and think, like, when I was 7 years old, that would mean it was like 1991. Yeah, I'd watched a lot of things by 1991 that I probably shouldn't have.
Ghostbusters doesn't count, Joe. That's a fine family.
No, matter of fact, they're
movie.
actually re-releasing Ghostbusters in theaters coming up in a few weeks. It is, yeah, they are. Yeah, I've watched obviously like Ghostbusters, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, all those scary movies. I was watching those by 1991.
You remember the Poinsettia Bowl?
I mean, I do remember it because it was like the second best like Pac-12 bowl that there was.
Okay. Well, it went away, and I remember when it went away in 2016, they said it wasn't sustainable.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of the first bowls to go away. And the team that played in it was BYU and Wyoming. Well, that year for a swag bag, they got a gaming console, an engraved fossil watch, a New Era cap, a JBL Bluetooth speaker, which was the crap back then, and then they got a Yeti Rody 20 cooler. So that was what you got for playing in that game back then.
Wow.
And those were some big deal items.
Yeah. A gaming console right out the gates that's like $500 at that point.
That's actually really awesome.
That's huge.
Yeah. I mean, they gave out pretty good stuff, and they ended up ending that bowl. And that was one that, was always great weather, and you could go there and enjoy yourself. And they said, hey, this thing's not sustainable. I mean, they knew that 9 years ago and put it down. And before it's over with, I think we're going to only what's associated with the college football playoff and your New Year's Six, other than places that just really want to spend money to put their name out there, like the Pop-Tart Bowl, where they basically parade Cole Kubelik around doing all kinds of crazy mess the entire time. Those are going to be the only ones left.
Yeah.
If we don't go to 24 teams.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong about it. And that's why I throw out the idea of possibly having regionalized brackets for some of these bowl games. Yeah, you're going to have some of the same teams playing in multiple bowl games, but at the same time, that's what the college football playoffs is.
The problem is that in 2025, with a lot of fan bases and a lot of fans, the bowl tie-ins that current conferences have, if you've had a team that has went to that particular bowl game 2 or 3 times, I mean, you've already done everything that there is to do in that city.
Yeah.
Like, you can only go over to Atlanta and do the things in Atlanta so many times before you're just like, if I'm going to the game, I'm just going to go day of. Like, there's no reason for me to do anything except for go to the game. Like, there's, oh yeah, we want to go to that dinner spot or something, maybe something like that. So if you get in the Music City Bowl, there's a reason why these bowl games are trying to get teams that are closer in proximity to them so that fans are more willing to go to the game. There's a reason why Tennessee keeps getting invited to the Music City Bowl, because they know Tennessee fans will pack out Nissan. They will go there. It doesn't matter because there's so many Tennessee fans in Nashville, they're going to go. But a lot of fans, like, how many times as a team play in Orlando that you're like, all right, well, outside of going to Disney, there's really not much else that I want to do in this city. So you kind of get lackadaisical about even wanting to go, and it doesn't really matter.
Well, and that's like my wife. She keeps asking me when are they going to play the SEC championship in the Bahamas. And I told her I'm working on it.
No, I mean, look, I'm truly, because look, when that game first was created, and it's already died as well. When that game was first created, I want to say that it was what is one of the
you talking about?
Carnival Cruise actually created a cruise for that particular bowl game.
Yes.
Where you could get on the cruise. It would be one of the ports. They would take you to the stadium, and the boat wouldn't leave until 2 hours after game time, and you could get back on the boat and continue your cruise.
Pretty cool.
Dude, I would love that.
It wasn't marketed well. If it was the Carnival Cruise Bahamas Bowl and they marketed it, it would go so much better.
Yeah.
Not everybody knows about that. That bowl was so underwhelmingly marketed.
Yeah.
That, I mean, if you're a Miami team or a Florida State, and that is, or even Jacksonville, if that's marketed, that is easy for you.
Yeah,
that is a good time.
Wait, did the
Georgia
players also get on the cruise ride?
No, they fly in.
Okay,
and they'll do all the other stuff on it. No,
because if I was seasick and I was getting into the game, man, oof.
But like Brandon's talking about those port cities, your Tulanes, your Jack States. I mean, not Jack State, but your South Alabamas, like those things. Because I think UAB made it into that. That was one of their first bowl games when they came back from extinction. They were able to. They went and played in the Bahamas Bowl, which was really cool because I know a lot of people from Birmingham that were going to do that cruise. Like those are things that you have to make it an experience now. Because you just saying, hey, I'm playing in this bowl, there's a reasons why a lot of times New Orleans is very iffy about inviting Alabama to the Sugar Bowl. Because Alabama fans are normally the fans that are going to go down day of or night before. They're not going down for 3 days beforehand, which is what these cities are wanting.
It's not too far away.
It's not too far away. And, I mean, you've already done everything because you've been there 50 times.
Hey, before I go, can I say we watched the Buford and
20.
What's called last night in the state championship game. Playing these games in these big domes is great for coverage, but it doesn't have the feel of playing it at home when people show up at 3:00 and sit there all day waiting on the game.
No, and I agree with you on that. When we come back, breaking news from the NFL, we'll have it next on the Blitz.
Phone lines are open now. 256-576-4977. This is The Blitz on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The holidays are here, and so is the holiday pizzazz at Loring & Company Fine Jewelers. At Loring & Company, they know this season is all about family, time, and meaningful connections. And when it comes to finding that perfect gift, they make it easy, enjoyable, and unforgettable. Step into a sparkling world of the world's most desired jewelry brands, all in one place. Their friendly, experienced staff is ready to help you discover something extraordinary. Whether you're shopping for a spouse, a parent, a child, or treating yourself to a little festive shine, finding the right gift doesn't have to be stressful. At Loring & Company Fine Jewelers, it's a pleasure. They'll help you choose a piece that says exactly what you want it to say, beautifully. This holiday season, let the Loring family welcome you into theirs. Visit Loring & Company Fine Jewelers at 800 Airport Road in Huntsville and shop anytime at loringjewelers.com. Add a little holiday pizzazz to your celebrations at Loring & Company Fine Jewelers.
Hi, this is Wes Neighbors. I'm here with Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Sam, tell the folks about Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Hey, Wes. Our company, Fleming Roofing and Restoration, specializes in commercial and residential roofing and repairs. I'm a fifth-generation Huntsvillian, and our family's been doing construction business in Huntsville area since 1965.
Sam, what kind of roofs does Fleming Roofing and Restoration do?
Our guys are skilled enough. We can come out and address any kind of leaks or issues you might have on your commercial, on your metal roofing, on your shingles. We can do anything, and we can offer you a solution to repair it, or we can replace it.
Well, you guys also do insurance restoration.
Our staff has 10 plus years of experience as insurance adjusters, and we really do know the inside and out of the claims process at Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Check out Fleming Roofing and Restoration online at FlemingHSV.com, or you can call or text them at 256-651-9440.
Hey, Wes, we show up.
I'm here with Stan McDonald of Jacob Title. Stan, I've heard that every real estate closing at Jacob Title is a very big deal. Why is that?
Wes, I'm reminded of a very impactful statement that I heard from Coach Gene Stallings years ago when he talked about big games and little games. He said he didn't like that comparison. He says, because try losing one of those little games. And if you ever do, it ends up being the biggest game all year long. Well, it's the same thing with real estate closings. Every game, every closing is a very big deal at Jacob Title. Because when it's your closing and your contract on the line, it's a very big deal, and we understand that at Jacob Title.
So it sounds like whether your client is a first-time residential buyer or a multi-million-dollar investor, they can expect your A game.
That's exactly right. As a matter of fact, when you bring your real estate closing to us at Jacob Title, we understand it's all about trust and confidence. And when Stan McDonald tells you that a chicken dips snuff, you can look under his wing for the box.
And like Beebs likes to say, there's no doubt about it.
Tide fans.
Here comes the Tide.
Let's go.
And one for the win. Ball game. Bama wins.
Grab your hard hat bets and tune in for Blue Collar Basketball with the Crimson Tide all season long on your home for Alabama basketball. Listen to Alabama basketball all season long on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Your customers deserve the best, and so do you. You invest in your customers with your heart, soul, and skill. Well, it's time to invest in yourself with the next generation Cat 255 compact track loader from Thompson Tractor. After all, those who give their best deserve the best, and this machine has it all. With features that include a more powerful engine, tri-axle truck loading capabilities, a spacious cab, and a smooth ride for all-day comfort. And with our Workhorse Special promotion, that new 255 CTL is just $73,655. But it's only good through December 31st. Prices increase in January, so lock in your savings now and take advantage of year-end tax benefits to maximize your investment. Don't wait. The best time to buy that new Cat 255 is today. Visit ThompsonTractor.com for details. Thompson Tractor, we're here for you.
AL cert number 21014.
Bah humbug! We don't need no heat this holiday season!
But Mr. Scrooge, Talent Heating and Air Conditioning has free service calls with a repair.
Oh, no free calls! No heat, no cold for you!
Talent Heating and Air Conditioning even has TVA rebates where they'll send you a paper check.
Who's this Talent Heating and Air people? Bah humbug!
Talent Heating and Air Conditioning is a real local company that'll come out and fix your unit often in the first day.
Oh, we don't need local!
Give them a call at 256-503-4490.
Oh, who again?
Talent Heating and Air Conditioning. Or find them online at talenthac.com.
Then a toast, my love, my dearie, to our Merry Christmas. God bless us.
God bless us. God bless us.
Your Fox 54 weather.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly cloudy to overcast sky this afternoon. A couple of isolated showers are going to be possible. Otherwise, temperatures climbing into the mid-50s, dropping into the low 40s as we head into the overnight. Showers and thunderstorms very likely as we head into Thursday afternoon. This activity should remain sub-severe. Temperatures still climbing into the upper 50s and lower 60s. Cooler on Friday.
Your Fox 54 weather. Only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Log on today. 97.7ESPN.com. Joe Hunk, John Abraham, 256-576-4977. Welcome to the Blitz.
All right, second hour, final hour, best hour, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone, and the Blitz. Joe Hunk, John Abraham with you. That's him. For the next hour, then we're going to get into Rich Eisen, the Tom Abraham Show, Paul Feinbaum, and The Drive, all happening tonight before we send you down to Tuscaloosa for Alabama and USF, which you'll be able to listen to, obviously, on 97.7 ESPN. The Zone. Also, Alabama and Oklahoma have both released their initial injury reports about it. Obviously, Drake Kirkpatrick Jr. is still on there. Cameron Howard is considered out as well in some of those, and Josh Cuevas at the moment is listed as questionable for the Crimson Tide.
Yeah, and I've seen some good things about Josh Cuevas. They are hopeful that he will be able to join in on this fun game in Norman. And on top of that, Jam Miller is looking to be playing. It's a big piece to really add in. And Cam Dewberry, another piece that was out for the SEC game on that offensive line. If you get him back, I mean, this could be the spark that Alabama needed. Because first off, offensive line has been sloppy, and what do you need against an Oklahoma team that leads the entire country in sacks? Well, it's an offensive line, and that's an average of sacks per game that Oklahoma leads. It would be huge. You got to get all of these pieces back on offense, and you know that's been the big struggle. Defense has been good. Last time they played, the offense was spectacular. Outgained the Sooners by like 200 yards on offense. What was the problem? Well, there were a few turnovers, 3
Yeah.
turnovers,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Oklahoma's defense really shored up, even though their offense really didn't do much of anything. So, getting back these offensive pieces, you're trying to get it back to 100%. If you play this Oklahoma team with the same type of health that you had whenever they played a month ago, then there's a high chance that this Tide team can win this game. But I still have some doubts. How are they going to start? And how healthy are the players that are actually going to be on the field? Because Oklahoma missing out on, any extra games was probably the biggest thing for them, because they've had, 3 weeks now, 2 weeks to kind of just prep and get ready. And Alabama has a little bit more that they had to do in the meantime. So, you're looking at a game where Oklahoma was really thin after finishing out the season after their 4-game gauntlet. But they got some time to rest, get the bones nice and good. Now they're going to be coming back and playing Alabama at home. It's going to be huge.
Yes, and some transfer portal news as well, because
you look a little upset over there.
Well, I just put my head down because I'm like, dang it. Like I look at one and so just a few moments ago, Jake Merklanger, the backup quarterback for the Tennessee Vols, has announced that he is going to be entering the transfer portal. He is from Savannah, Georgia, and so that is what is kind of becoming official. He played in a few games this season, had 173 yards passing, 2 touchdown passes for it. But a lot of this has to do with the fact that he has George McIntyre right behind him. He is from Franklin. He's Brentwood Academy kid. He's from Tennessee. And it's kind of looking like he would most likely be the starting quarterback if you don't see something with Aguilar as far as the NCAA is concerned.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not the news that we were talking about with the NFL.
Nope.
Before we went to commercial break, because right before we took Brandon's phone call, this started going all over social media as the Miami Dolphins have announced that they are going to bench Tua Tagovailoa, and they will now start Quinn Ewers on Sunday.
Finally.
Tagovailoa is due $54 million in 2026, and it is all guaranteed.
I don't think they're benching him just because of the play. I think they're benching him because at this point in the season, I believe they're out of the playoffs. I mean, they've got to be out of the playoffs. They have 6 wins, but I think now they're at 8 losses. So I don't think this is really something to really worry about for the Tua fans. There's only 3 games left of the season.
Miami is one of the teams that have been eliminated in the AFC.
So
Jets being the other. Obviously.
Yeah, you throw in Quinn Ewers, who obviously has had a little bit of time to play early in the season. This could be a future franchise guy. I mean, this could be a perfect transition, similar to an Aaron Rodgers and a Jordan Love. All right, Tua obviously has not been at 100% for the last 2 years because of all those concussions, and I don't know if he'll ever be back at 100%. But he still has a little bit of life left in him on this Dolphins team. So I think that you give Tua a few more years, but you got to see what you have in Quinn Ewers, because now you're really trying to set up for those steps post Tua Tagovailoa.
Well, I'm actually curious now, because we were talking about the contract the other day of Tua.
Yeah.
And you mentioned the $56 million that he is owed in dead cap, or in his salary next year. All of that is going to be part of the cap. If they were to release him, their dead cap space would now be $99 million if they release him next season. I'm curious, because of the out that is happening after 2026, because the dead cap then drops to $34 million. I genuinely wonder if the Dolphins think about eating that extra $44 million.
Yeah, like how much really is that going to affect them in the long run?
Because if you're already going to pay him $56.4 million next year, and you are going to, if you were to release him, you have to pay $40 million more, which is a ton of money. Let's not act like it's not. And they're not really having to pay the money. It's just that money now they're not allowed to spend that amount of money, which there are ways around that with renegotiating contracts. You start giving signing bonuses instead of that being part of your base pay. There's ways to kind of massage it if you've got the right guy that's your accountant that can figure this out. I don't think that Tua ever takes another snap for the Miami Dolphins.
Wow.
I genuinely do not think that at all.
That's how we're going to get this hour started?
Well, I mean, it's reality. You lead the NFL in interceptions right now. You are averaging less than 200 yards passing every single game. You've already been sacked more this season than you've been sacked ever in your career. Your numbers are now being compared to your first season in the NFL.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of regression with Tua. The problem is that what we've talked about, the only way for him to get out of the quote unquote cold weather thing that everybody wants to talk about is if he goes to a Arizona, San Francisco, LA, Vegas type situation. That's the only way that he would be in a scenario where he would be in a better spot, but still he has to go play in the cold there. So I mean, you
could see possibly a Vegas trying to trade for a quarterback in the future. You could see maybe them try and pick up because they desperately need it. But I mean, we're also talking about a guy that, yes, may throw an interception here and there. 2 years ago, he had 14 interceptions, but he also had 4,624 yards passing, which led the NFL. So although we're seeing a regression with him, how much work can be done to that offensive line to kind of give him a little bit more support? How much more work can be done to the defense to make sure that, he's got plenty more opportunities to try and show up? That's kind of what I'm looking at. I don't think that the Dolphins give up on him just yet. I just think that this is a strategic move moving forward. Just in case Tua does get injured next season, you need to go to that next guy up. And if Quinn Ewers is that guy, he needs those reps now, or he might never get them until it's already too late.
So with Tua, the options that I could genuinely see could be the option, say, for a Las Vegas, if you were to trade him out there. But I believe the only way that a team is going to be interested in trading for Tua is if, one, he agrees to restructure his contract, and two, if that out after next season stays in, where there is a potential out for whatever team he is on. Because look, it is Miami at this point in time, the idea of the Miami Dolphins being a Super Bowl contender, which they genuinely were a year or two ago.
I wouldn't say Super Bowl contender. They still needed to win some playoff games.
Well, yeah, but they had to go up against the Chiefs.
They were 4 playoff games away every single year.
But at the same time, you look at that team from, what was it, 2023.
Yeah.
You look at the 2023 team for the Miami Dolphins, that team was arguably the fastest and one of the best when it comes to skill position, between Tyreek having almost 2,000 yards receiving. You had Mostert had over 1,000 yards rushing. You still had A-Chain.
That was a freak year for Mostert.
It is. You still had A-Chan in there as well. Waddle had 1,000 yards receiving there. Like, they had the skill position players that could win a Super Bowl.
Most explosive offense in the NFL. Defense was where they struggled because they, may have put up 40-something points a game, but they also allowed 40-something points a game.
They did. And I think that with Tua, if the Dolphins are thinking about getting rid of people, because Tyreek Hill's already tweeted out, peace out and all that stuff as well.
Which sucks because, they were able to kind of have the same luck as last season with Tyreek Hill that they had this year without Tyreek Hill. So, what's the difference with him in this offense as well?
I genuinely think that Tua's days as a Dolphin is done. It would not surprise me if in 2026 he is a backup.
Wow. Well, if he's a backup, that's one thing. Then he could be like a Kirk Cousins, and then you got to make sure Quinn Ewers can stay healthy. And this is only speculating that Quinn Ewers will be that guy. Who knows? I don't think they're going to have the money to bring in any veteran presence, and I don't think they're going to want to. Maybe Dan Marino will come back and play football with all these veterans coming back. But no, Quinn Ewers is definitely the future as of right now. But
he has the first shot.
But still, Tua, he's still that franchise guy. I don't think they turn away from him right now, especially with all the money that's on the table. I know you say, they might be able to take the hit. There's a lot of money within this organization, but I think you at least give him one more year, see exactly how it is, and try and have your playmakers back on the field, not just with Achane, not just with Waddle, but maybe you have a Tyreek Hill that, yes, says he might be gone, but at the same time, we know how he could be a little bit back and forth.
He's a very emotional guy.
Yeah.
Tua has been in the NFL for 6 years.
Still young.
He is still young.
Still young.
How many of those 6 years did he play in every game?
1, 2, 1. And that was the year that they went 11-6.
That was 2023. He has only played in one season.
Has it all been concussions?
Fully.
Or is there something else that was involved? I think maybe an arm injury, or a shoulder injury at one point.
This year he's only gonna play in 14 games. Last year he only played in 11. 2022 he played in 13. In 2021 he played in 13, and then 2020 he played in 10.
Well, the first year he was still dealing with injury from Alabama.
But what I'm saying is that, yes, what you're talking about as far as his ability, he could absolutely be it. The health is going to be a massive issue. So I hate to break it to Chiefs fans, the health now Patrick Mahomes is going to start being an issue. Like, we are getting to that point now where these quarterbacks, unless they're not taking hits, which Tua doesn't know how to not take a hit.
He seeks out those hits.
He genuinely does. I do not believe that Tua will be a starter in the NFL next year, and I do not think that we see him, unless there is an injury, back on the field for the Dolphins.
That's definitely a hot take from you, Joe Hunk. I respect it, but we do need to get back into the college football scene. Of course, Tua went to Alabama. Maybe he knows a thing or two. We're not talking to Tua, though. We're not talking to Tua. We're actually going to Norman, getting into a fun little conversation with John Hoover from Sooners on SI. He's going to give us all the know-how about how this Oklahoma squad is looking heading into Friday night. We'll be right back here on the Blitz on 97.7 ESPN The Zone and WZZN TV.
I have all of Tua's injuries, by the way.
Oh, jeez. It's a lot of them. It's a long list.
And then I'm not printing it.
Joe Hunk, John Abraham. You can watch the Blitz live now on X at 97.7 ESPN.
What does it mean to be a part of the Southeastern Conference? That you scheduled your wedding and even your child's birth around your school's game? Of course. But it means more than that. It means you're home to hundreds of Fulbright, Truman, Goldwater, and Rhodes Scholars. It means starting out as the birthplace of American public higher education, and now leading the way in unmanned spacecraft. This is the SEC, and here it just means more.
I'm attorney Gary Lackey. I know your accident is the real thing, and they happen to real people.
I'm attorney Justin Lackey. There's a lot of talk right now about bigger, but when you've had a wreck, is bigger better?
I'm attorney Jennifer Lackey. Do you want to be just a case number?
With offices in Huntsville and Scottsboro, we take the time to help.
The Lackey Law Firm. The Lackey Law Family. 1-800-4-RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where AFS comes in, a groundworks company. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at afsrepair.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Sure, Valley Equipment Rental takes care of the homeowner and his needs, but how about the pros out there? Well, Valley Equipment has the big stuff as well. The equipment you need to get any job done. I'm talking about the big track hoe excavators, from the 30,000-pound mid-size one to the big boy 50,000-pound units. Need a dozer on the job? Well, they've got them up to 105 horsepower, and that's a good-sized machine. Plus, Valley Equipment has more lifts than anyone around. Up to 80-foot booms that reach 56 feet with a 10,000-pound capacity. 2 locations, North and South Parkway. Check them out today.
You've been paying on that life insurance policy for years, but maybe you don't really need it anymore, or it's gotten a bit too expensive. Well, before you just let it expire, let Neighbors Insurance Solutions share with you some alternatives that you haven't considered. Don't throw away something that still may have great value for you. If you want to learn more about what Neighbors Insurance Solutions can do for you, call 256-763-7693. A death benefit could be a life benefit. Learn more at 256-763-7693.
In the market for a newer used car? Look no further than Hyundai of Decatur. With a large inventory of new, used, and certified pre-owned Hyundai models, Greenway Hyundai of Decatur is here to service all of your Hyundai needs. Come visit our exceptional service department as well. With state-of-the-art facilities and a caring team of automotive professionals waiting to service your vehicle, make Hyundai of Decatur your #1 choice for all your automotive needs. Give them a call today at 256-274-0279 or visit them online at greenwayhyundaiofdecatur.com.
Hello, listeners. I want to tell you a little bit about Minuteman Press and what we have to offer our community. We specialize in paper printing and can help from designing your piece to the finished product. We print media guides for many of the athletic departments at high schools and universities around the area. We typically purchase sponsorships from these schools as well to try and help them with their fundraising. Once we have reached our new normal, we also print all types of marketing materials for you to hand out either in person, via mail, or at various trade shows and events. At Minuteman Press, we're not just putting ink on paper, we're building relationships.
When Nashville does bowl season, it's different. On Tuesday, December 30th, we're serving up big plays and conference pride. Join us at Nissan Stadium when the SEC battles the Big Ten in the Liberty Mutual Music City Bowl, where the party hits harder than bowl season glory and football roars loud enough to rattle Broadway. Get your tickets now at MusicCityBowl.com. Brought to you by the Tennessee State Lottery.
The Blitz with Joe Hunk and John Abraham. Weekday morning starting at 9 a.m. on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Two 576-576-4977. So you can get in the Blitz here in just a little bit. After we talk about the Oklahoma Sooners, who Alabama's going to be playing on Friday night in Norman. Before we go to our interview with Mr. John Hoover, who is waiting for us right now, letting you know that not all of Tua's injuries have been concussions, John. He had a hip sprain. He also had a shoulder injury.
That's the one I was talking about.
He's had a fractured a finger in there, rib fractures, thumb sprain, hip dislocation. Pelvis fracture, nose fracture. I can keep going if you want me to.
Are you sure this guy doesn't have
just
mechanical parts to his body or anything like that?
I mean, he 100% could be the modern day RoboCop.
Okay.
I mean, in all seriousness, which their statue just went up in Detroit. Good job by y'all, Detroit.
Really?
Yeah, they just now put the statue up of RoboCop. They've been trying to do this for like 30 years.
Do they know he wasn't like a real guy?
He's
guess
also
Rocky,
probably the best representation of Detroit ever.
Gotcha. I thought Eminem was, who was just bringing us back.
Okay, second best thing to ever happen to Detroit outside of Eminem.
Okay, I mean Ford was also, it's not a big deal.
What are you talking about? We're in Chevy country, John.
Come
totally
on now.
Kidding. We're actually, a lot of us are sponsored by Woody Anderson Fords. You need to go pick up a Ford right now, as they have amazing ones, including an F-150 Lightning, which I saw on the road the other day, and I basically just started drooling because it's that amazing. So yes, Woody Anderson Ford.
One day, Joe, you'll be able to be driving that thing. But let's head on over to Norman, and to quote another one of Eminem's songs, you only got one shot in the playoffs.
And technically, with Alabama, they get two shots at Oklahoma this year.
Well, that's a totally different story.
Yeah.
But John Hoover joins us from Sooners on SI, and he gets us on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. John, how you doing today, sir?
I'm doing well. Just listening to you guys talk about Tua, that draws to mind a line from Star Wars. He's more machine now than man.
I already love this guy. Yeah. I mean, he's already referencing Star Wars on the show. Come on.
Who would have thought that within like 12 hours we'd have talked about Star Wars multiple times on 97.7? This was also a conversation last night on our Havoc Hour that we do with our local hockey team here in Huntsville as well, because both the guys that we had on last night were huge Star Wars fans. And honestly, again, a lot of Tua fans, every time he goes on the field, also quote Star Wars and saying, yeah, I don't have a good feeling about this.
Yeah, not as badass really though. Not as badass as Darth Vader, I would say Tua is. But it's an interesting one, and of course we're following that. News came out that he is getting benched for these next 3 games for Quinn Ewers, who played at a football field that you very much know, on a team that you very much don't like in the Texas Longhorns. But we're not talking about them. We're talking about this Friday, Oklahoma versus Alabama, part 3 in the last 2 years. And right now, Oklahoma has had Alabama's number, but hasn't come without a little bit of struggle. Tell us a little bit about what we're going to see from this Oklahoma team this third time around, with just a few weeks of time to kind of prep for it.
Yeah, third time in conference play, huh?
Yeah.
That's pretty wild. I'm sure Oklahoma's probably thinking, wait a minute, did we sign up for getting Alabama 2 times a year? No, we didn't. But no, it's. I think we'll see a lot of what we saw back on, was it November 15th in Tuscaloosa? I mean, me and my staff were at that game, and when we shot our post-game video kind of summing things up, it was, how did Oklahoma win this game exactly? You know, they did what they have been doing the past month of the season. That is, they uglied the game up. They played the heck out of the defense, of course, but, you know, they had takeaways, they had sacks, they had pressures, they forced turnovers. You know, they had special teams plays, and that has been Oklahoma's identity, not just the second half of the season, but really all year, is elite defense, elite special teams, and then hold on for dear life when it comes to the offense.
And part of that also is because of the injury that took place to another team in Alabama, and when John Mateer played Auburn, and he broke the hand there. But, you know, when that game took place, he only threw for like 138 yards. He didn't even have a touchdown or an interception pass, but he still was working back from that injury as he continued to come back from it. You know, his best game was against LSU a couple of weeks ago. Is he back to 100% when you guys were watching that? Did you start feeling like you did before the injury? What is kind of the line, or I should say the health of Mateer going into this game?
Yeah, health-wise, he's fine. He said from day one, after the Texas game, when he came back 2 weeks after the injury, after the surgery, I should say, he said the thumb doesn't bother me. And the coach has said the thumb doesn't bother him. His velocity isn't what it was, you know, when he led the comeback or engineered the fourth quarter touchdown against Michigan and then led the comeback against Auburn. He was the Heisman Trophy front runner at that point. And I'm talking odds makers were saying John Mateer is number 1. Here,
yeah.
You know, place your bets. And he was. It's funny, guys. I'm not sure anybody who follows Oklahoma knows exactly how to characterize what we saw from John Mateer the first 4 games versus what we've seen the last, certainly since the Texas game. It looks like 2 different players. Looks like 2 different quarterbacks. So I would think that his gripping of the football is fine, but not enough that he's going to throw a 60-yard touchdown pass on the money, right? He's not going to fit one in a super tight window, sitting in the pocket, right, where he has to, you know, negotiate traffic and the pass rush and deliver a ball on perfect time in a perfect place. I don't think that's his game, and I'm reasonably sure that there's some blame attached to the thumb surgery to that end. But the kid is a gamer. He's a baller. You know, whatever you want to call it. He's a football player, is what his offensive coordinator says, is what his head coach says. And I think he's embraced that. I think, if the game plan calls for him to run the ball 22 times, he's capable of doing that. If they have to have him, if they fall behind and they have to have him throw the football 35 times, that's probably not his game. So he's put in an admirable effort this year, but he's not quite the same football player that, you know, led the nation in touchdowns last year at Washington State. He's not the same high-level quarterback that threw for, 3,100 yards or whatever it was last year at Washington State.
You mentioned the thumb, and the way you phrased it just kind of perked my ears up a little bit. You said blame has to go to the thumb. Does that mean like potentially having to go back in the offseason and fix it a second time, or what do you mean?
I don't think so. I think there's just a lingering kind of maybe not soreness, but just, you know, when you have surgery and you have something stitched together or bones, screws put in bones in this case, that kind of thing. There's going to be inflammation. There's going to be pain. That's what I'm saying. He's a tough dude. He's not going to complain about it. He's got that high character kind of personality where he's going to say, no, this is not bothering me. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I'm going to do what I can. He's going to lead the team in that kind of way. But I don't think this is a thing where the thumb is actually currently injured. I think it's just probably affected his strength and flexibility and range of motion and stuff like that.
Well, it's interesting because I know exactly what you're talking about. Whenever it gets cold out, of course, those injuries can kind of linger a little bit longer. Or if it's raining, it gets wet. It's weird how the body works when it comes down to those injuries. But thankfully, it's going to be fairly warm from what we've at least seen up north. Over in Norman this Friday night. Is the weather going to play a factor at all? What is it looking like?
Yeah, earlier in the week there was a little bit of a threat, but I think the weathermen and women, I should say, have kind of backed off, and it doesn't appear that it's going to be a real big factor.
So with the John Mateer thing, and now obviously with the weather going to be pretty good for whenever the game kicks off, you were talking about he's not going to throw a 60-yard pass. He's not going to try to send one into an extremely tight window. How has the Oklahoma staff been game planning with John Mateer? Like, what is this team's now strength with what his hand is on this time in 2025?
Yeah, that's a good question. His the strength of the team is the defense. They're not going to allow you to score more than 20 points. Generally speaking, I mean, they're not going to. They're going to make plays on offense. They're going to get across the 50-yard line and be in field goal range. It's the Steph Curry kind of mindset. Hey, we cross midfield, we're going to shoot one. They've got the Grozo Award kicker Tate Sandell, money from 50 yards and out. So that's a big thing. He's an actual weapon that they actually game plan around. If we get to this part of the field, that coaches will say, let's take care of the football. Let's be safe with it. We know we got 3 points on the board. So how many kickers can change the way their coaches, their offensive coaches or their head coach approaches like a 4th and 3 from the 38?
Oh.
That's or a third down. Is this 2-down territory right here? Are we going to go for it, or are we going to kick a long field goal? Well, we're going to kick a long field goal. So they've got that mindset, and then they've got the mindset that the defense is going to control the tempo of the game. The defense is going to limit what the other team's offense can do. All you got to do if you're on the offense is not screw it up, just like you did in Tuscaloosa. Yeah. Three takeaways, no giveaways. That's got to be the identity of this team moving forward.
No doubt. John Hoover from Sooners on SI. Tate Sandell, I cannot forget about him. Everybody wants to talk about the John Mateers and the defense, but of course, one of the best kickers in the country by far. He's definitely been lights out, and it is an advantage, I would say, over the Tide with the struggles that we've seen. But
trust me, teams do strategize around their field goal kicker, just not in the same way.
I do want to look. I do want to look at the defensive side of the ball, though, because of course we got the injury report that came out. Still not seeing R. Mason Thomas on it. How's the health for him? Because this was a factor that Alabama didn't even have to worry about in that first game.
Yeah. R. Mason Thomas, not on the injury report, not on the availability report, to keep it politically correct.
Yeah.
And that's huge for Oklahoma because he's a game changer. He's a difference maker out there on the defensive end. He's a guy that hasn't played in 3 games and still leads the team in sacks and second on team, I think, in tackles for loss.
Not bad.
So, you saw his impact against Tennessee when, they blitz a linebacker off the edge and a middle linebacker comes off the edge, hits the quarterback, ball's on the ground. He scoops it up while he's being blocked and then stiff arms the tight end 25 yards for a span of 25 yards down the field. He's running toward the end zone, stiff arming the tight end who's, grabbing him, pulling him, swiping at the football, and finishes the thing with a 71-yard fumble return for a touchdown. Longest in the program's history. The dude is just ridiculously talented. They told us, 24. They told us back in 2022. 2023. He was the starting defensive end in 2-a-day practices coming off his redshirt freshman season.
Wow.
It was like, okay, well, let's see what this young kid can do. And he kept getting injured. He kept hurting his foot. He hurt his ankle. And it's like, oh, yeah, sure. This guy's really good. Yeah. If he gets in the lineup the next year, he gets in the lineup at the end of the year and makes some plays. But then he jumps into the starting lineup as I guess, a sophomore. And he's just phenomenal. It's like, oh, now we get it. He's a clutch guy. I think he had 9 sacks last year, I want to say, something like that. And 7 of them were in the fourth quarter.
Jeez.
So he's a guy that they kind of turn the football game over to. Okay, dip your shoulder. The offensive tackle is not sliding his kick foot as fast as he was in the first quarter. He may be a little tired. He might have got dinged. Go ahead and attack that. Get underneath him and go get the quarterback. And the guy is just exceptional at it.
Well, one thing you got to be concerned about, obviously, it's going to be a different type of defense with Thomas back on the lineup. But, last game, it was a struggle for this offense to score against Alabama. And Alabama, looked pretty solid on offense. They had 200-plus yards when it came down to the offensive play. And, it's a team that was playing from behind. Obviously, they got down early in this thanks to Oklahoma's stout defense and that pick six and then a fumble on a punt. But there is some things to kind of be concerned about the Crimson Tide. What are you worried about the most when it comes down to it?
Oh, gosh. They have trouble. Oklahoma has always historically had trouble covering a really good tight end. And so you ask the question if Josh Cuevas is going to be 100%. Look back at his game, 6 catches for 80 yards and a touchdown. He was one of those hard to stop, almost impossible to stop type guys for this defense. He just kept finding holes in the Oklahoma zones. Ty Simpson had a, pretty good game. 28 of 42, 326.
No.
You take that, but he was sacked 4 times, a couple of turnovers, couple of big turnovers. If Oklahoma's identity on defense, they're going to give up some passing. I think I can't remember the rating right off, but I remember at some point recently they were in the 40s. NCAA statistical pass yards allowed. They were in the 40s or something like that. I think they would be okay giving up 300 yards passing if they can limit Alabama to under 100 yards rushing again. And by under 100, you look back at the last game, they had 80 yards rushing, 2.4 yards per carry. That includes the negative plays as well, but the sacks. But if you limit a team as good as Alabama with a good offensive line, talented players, 4 stars, 5 stars everywhere, if you can limit them to 75, 80, 90 yards rushing even, then you kind of dictate the flow of the game. You can generate a little pass rush. You can trick the quarterback into thinking that he sees something in the zone that's not actually there. You can influence his decisions of where to throw the football. That's when things start happening for this defense.
Now, it'll definitely be intriguing. Of course, the game going down Friday night. You're going to be able to listen to it here on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. And for you, John, we appreciate you hopping on with us, man. Let the people know where they can find all of the Oklahoma Sooners conversation, whether it's football, basketball, or so much more out in Norman.
Yeah, for sure. You can find our website. We're part of the Sports Illustrated on SI Network, Oklahoma Sooners on SI.com. And then we've got a ton of video content up on my YouTube channel. That's John Hoover Media.
Very nice.
Sweet.
And real quick, any prediction on this game? What do you think the score might look like?
Yeah, we put our scores out, I think the day before the game. So that'll be tomorrow this week since it's on a Friday. I don't know. I haven't really concocted a score in my head yet. I just know that the betting line is 1.5, depending on what house you're following. 1.5, like MGM has Oklahoma by 1.5. I think FanDuel and DraftKings has Alabama by 1.5, which I find fascinating.
Yeah.
I didn't see the total, but I have a hard time believing anybody's going to score more than 24 points in this thing. So low scoring game, tight either way. I'm still not sure who wins.
All right. Well, we'll look forward to your predictions over on your site here the next few days. But man, enjoy the weekend. It should be a lot of fun. But of course, it'll be a lot of fun for you if the Sooners end up with a win. It might be a little bit more fun for us down in Alabama if the Alabama Crimson Tide win. Either way, we should just enjoy
Somebody's
it.
Going Pasadena, huh?
No doubt about it. Indiana, of course, going to look pretty intriguing as well. We might have to get you back on to talk about that one as well. But John, appreciate you, man, and hope you have a great one.
Thanks, fellas. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Happy holidays. Forgot about that as well. Yeah, you're going to say that as well. We have to hop into a break, pay some bills, but you guys can join in, react to that conversation, 256-576.
Stop.
97.7. Did you say stop?
Stop.
It's the Blitz here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. No.
This is the Blitz with Joe Hunk and John Abraham. 256-576-4977.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
Johnson & Hayes Physical Therapy was built on treating athletes, and today, we treat so much more. Whether you're a high school competitor, weekend warrior, or recovering from surgery, Johnson & Hayes pairs you with a dedicated therapist for one-on-one consistent care. We offer specialized programs in sports rehab, neurological therapy, pelvic health, post-concussion care, and more. Founded by lifelong athletes, trusted by top physicians across Alabama, Johnson & Hayes delivers results. Visit johnsonandhayes.com and get back to what you love.
Forgiveness. Wow, what a word. What a gift. All of us have done things in our lives that we regret. All of us have done things that are disobedient. All of us have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. Thank God for his forgiveness. Thank God that he separates our sins as far as the east is from the west and remembers them no more. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of Cross Point Church, smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison. Check us out at cpcfamily.org.
There's power in caring when it is put into action. Each year, our bankers serve on nonprofit boards, support our local educators, and volunteer with our hometown food bank. I'm Bobby Humphrey, Vice President of Business Development for Bryan Bank, and community service is just not a line item in our mission statement. It's who we are. Because after all, Alabama is our home too. That kind of commitment to community might not be what you would expect from a bank, but it's exactly what you can expect from us. Give us a call or stop by one of our 2 offices in the Huntsville area and experience unbeatable service and legendary results.
Bryan Bank Equal Housing Lender, NMLS ID 2428943, member FDIC.
Mark and Henry McDaniel, attorneys at law, are proud alumni of Madison Academy, and Madison Academy is proud of them. They have served our community through their practice, through volunteerism and service on national, state, and local boards. They explain the complexity of critical court rulings on local media. Their successful practice has been built on integrity. Both are veterans of MA Athletics and proud sponsors of Mustang football. McDaniel and McDaniel, attorneys at law. No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Announcing the 97.7 ESPN The Zone Baumhower's Bracket Challenge. Sign up now at our Facebook page, 977 ESPN, or just go to ESPN.com Fantasy. Click on the Bracket Challenge and search Baumhower's Bracket Challenge. Presented by 97.7 ESPN The Zone to get in. The grand prize, an overnight stay at the historic Battle House Renaissance Mobile Hotel. Dinner for 2 at Delphins. And a complimentary beverage and dessert at La Floriditas, Mobile's only Cuban-inspired speakeasy. The 97.7 ESPN The Zone Baumhower's Bracket Challenge. Sign up closes on the 19th, so get in today.
The company is Eagle Masonry and Insulation, but did you know they're also Eagle Landscaping and Dirt Work? Eagle can take care of all your landscaping needs, including irrigation, sod work, and planting, both plants and trees. On the dirt work side, Eagle can grade and build your pads, haul dirt in or out, and even do erosion control. Philip Love and his team can do it all for you. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Tom Abraham here for my friends at All About Water. Crazy name, huh? Well, let me introduce you to them. All About Water is the top pond builder anywhere in the Tennessee Valley, and that includes remodeling or cleaning out existing ponds as well. They also have monthly maintenance plans for your pond. Don't have a pond? Well, how about a fountain or water feature for your property to bring that soothing sound of running water to your happy place. On the other hand, maybe you have water on your property that you don't want. Well, Ryan at All About Water is all about water, so he could take care of that as well. He has a background in fluid dynamics, and what that means is that he can take care of any water issue that you have. Finally, how about that irrigation system that you have or that you want? Well, they do installs and maintenance and repairs on those as well because they are all about water. Learn more at allaboutwaterllc.com. That's allaboutwaterllc.com.
The Tom Abraham Show. Weekdays beginning at noon on 97.7 ESPN The Zone and WZZN TV.
Sorry, Joe can't come to the phone right now. Too busy playing.
Okay, so
Lego racing, whatever, Mario Kart. I don't know.
Look, part of being a parent is sometimes you've got to test out the equipment before the kid gets it on Christmas Day. And so that's what I was doing just a few moments ago, because everybody knows now that whenever you buy a gift, you've got to charge it. You got to put the batteries in it. There's probably an update on it somewhere, and you got to get all through it, because if not, you hand it to your kid and they're like, oh, wait. So you know how to deal with that. So I was getting all of that done, and I was like, let me test and see how the game worked.
Yeah.
I won. Just letting you know, John. Just letting you know.
Good job. But you actually got first place?
Yeah, I can't turn around and I can show you.
Oh, good. Nice.
See, so I got first place.
You're natural.
Yeah. So it is. So you have to test it out, make sure everything's working before, because you don't want to, give your child a gift that's not working.
No.
So you just want to make sure of it. So that's what I'm doing today, because this is the only time in the building is the only time that I can actually do this stuff, because my son's at home sick today. I'm about to head home right when the show ends.
Yeah.
And with all the girls and everything around, we really don't have that time.
I got you.
So that's what I was doing.
If you want to get your loved one a gift and maybe a stocking stuffer, head on over to our Big Zone Deals site. You can find it over on 977ESPN.com. Tap on the Deals Never Tasted So Good icon, and you'll be taken right over there, where we have numerous locations with 50% off deals, including Full Moon, Carrabba's, Corleos, the list goes on. And I personally love myself a little bit of Bad Daddy's Burger Bar. But head on over there and get that last second Christmas shopping knocked out and ready to go. But you guys able to join in on the conversation before we get out of here on a Wednesday? 256-576-97.7. Crawdaddy's on with us. Crawdad, how you doing, man?
Hey, guys. Good show. I just want to tell you about something that's happening at the Havoc game tomorrow night, and that is going to be the return, taking on all comers, of Winston the Duck, the fastest thing on four legs. And we entered him in the
Wiener Dog races.
I love how popular the Wiener Dog races is. You can't go anywhere here in Huntsville and talk to a sports guy without him bringing up, hey, yeah, the Wiener Dog races are tomorrow.
The Wiener Dog races are definitely coming up, yes.
Are you signing up one of your dogs?
That's what he's saying.
Oh, yeah. I've entered it the last few years, and the first couple of years, we didn't know what we were doing, and he just rumbled around. But 2 years ago, we discovered the bacon trick.
Oh.
And 2 years ago, Winston came in second, literally by nose. And the last year, we didn't enter because I had a broken hand. But this year, Winston is going to be back, and he's going to be out there kicking butt and taking names and going fast. And by the way, that thing, to participate in that is an absolute hoot. And if y'all are at the hockey game or match or whatever you call it, you'll be able to hear him because he barks constantly during the national anthem, just to look towards the sound. So it's going to be fun.
Yeah, the Wiener Dog races, that is some of the most hilarious and awesome and most fun things that you will watch.
I love how Winston matches his owner's patriotic personality.
Basically, what we just heard was the fact of, look, if you won this thing last year, it's on a technicality. That's basically what Crawdad just said.
Well, what happened, it was my fault. I released him a half second too late. And if I if I had done my job as the trainer, we would have had 20 free dog washes instead of the 10 we got for second place. But and by the way, taking the dachshund to one of those dog washes is you're the one getting washed. So
I bet. Do they freak out?
They freak out.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Well, my dog freaks out if the wind blows. That's a dachshund. So hey, good show, guys. I'll let you go. Thanks.
Appreciate you,
Thank you for
Crawdad.
that.
Wish you the best of luck with that wiener dog race.
Yeah, wiener dog races, man. That's gonna be Thursday night. Friday night is gonna be Peanuts Christmas.
Yeah,
and so the Peanuts holidays is how it is being worded, and you're gonna have that. Then the 26th, the Havoc are back at home again right after Christmas, and then they're gonna be playing on the 30th because that's why we're not gonna be doing a Havoc hour on the 30th.
Yeah, I probably asked you this question before, Joe. What dog would you get? Because I know right now you don't have a dog.
Man.
What dog would you get though if you could get another one?
So I only want one dog. Okay, I've had in my lifetime I have had a mutt, which he was absolutely adorable, just not in a place that we lived in. It was just not good to have him. I've had 3 Dalmatians. Love Dalmatians. Love them. Like
really?
Yes. I've had 3 different ones. Those were my first dogs I ever had.
Dalmatians are pretty rare, I feel like.
I love Dalmatians. They are some of the most beautiful dogs on the face of the earth. If I were to not get another Dalmatian, because the wife and I have already had this conversation, because we're going to need a much bigger yard.
Yeah.
The next dog I am purchasing is going to be a Siberian Husky.
I almost owned one for a little bit. I gave it away to somebody.
I'm talking the blue-eyed, all white.
Oh no, mine was black.
Siberian Husky. That is the next animal that we will, because my kids now have gotten to a period, especially my son who does remember our dog, which this is so morbid. Anytime something goes wrong in the house, he will look at the walls and go, "Allie, stop it." I'm like, wait, what did you just say, son? Allie, her ghost is messing things up right now. She needs to stop messing with things. And I'm just thinking to myself, I don't know if I should just let that continue.
I think I think it's good to use humor to kind of drown out the sadness.
It is. He'll be in the back of the car. He'll be playing like on one of his little game consoles and something will go wrong. Allie, stop it. I'm like, wait, what? Did you just say that? Like it's hilarious. It's so, he's of the age where eventually he'll want another pet, but I want a big dog. And so Siberian Husky, that's going to be the next one.
Well, I definitely want a big dog. I want a medium-sized dog, or I want a small dog.
Oh, okay,
right?
cool.
So I'll tell you every
3
single
little
size.
bears.
So if I was going to get a small dog, the Yorkshire Terrier, the one that my mom has, Betty, is absolutely just an amazing dog. So adorable. Just don't let its hair grow too long because then it'll look horrible. A Chihuahua obviously would be great for a medium-sized dog, but they're a little loud, so I'm going with the Shiba Inu, little Japanese classic right there. And then if I want a big dog, I like the Bernese. Yeah, the Bernese Mountain Dog would be a pretty nice one, or maybe like a bully, like a pit. Maybe a bully or a pit. One of the two. A pitty would be nice. They're just so cute and so stout and so muscular as that. But yeah, I think that would be my that's my rundown.
Yeah.
Obviously, I would love myself a Shibu, but those things are like $2,000, and I know pitties can get a little expensive. as well.
We used to have a Shih Tzu, and she was the most loving, adorable dog.
Not a yapper though.
No, not really. She never really was, and so it would be great because she would literally just sit in my lap, curl up while I played video games, and she would just sit there and sleep all day. Like that was just how she was. I loved that dog. My wife got that dog before we started dating, and unfortunately, great. Thanks for bringing this up, John. Yeah, she had to get put down 2 years ago next week. So yeah, it was right before Christmas.
I mean, come on now. All of my dogs have been put down.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a part of life.
Yeah, except for the way that Tom broke it to me was totally different. And actually, one of my dogs is still alive, Jackson. I hope you're living a really good life. I don't even know how old that dog would be at this point. My brother gets still a little bit choked up whenever I talk about him. So I try to hold off.
Yeah, but little dog Shih Tzus are great, especially for a small apartment or a house that's a smaller house, because it'll have a lot of places to roam. But the big dog, we're going to need a bigger yard for that.
Okay. All right.
I mean, we're getting to that point now. We have 5 people living in our house now. At some point in time, we're going to need a bigger house.
Yeah.
So it's going to get to the part where, we've got to have a little bit more land. And so, yes, that's Siberian Husky. That'll be the next dog.
Did you see Frank Wilson, where he's heading after, of course, the interim head coach position that he had for a little bit at LSU?
Yeah, basically what you're saying is and with this, if you don't know, Ole Miss and LSU are basically just doing like the Army Navy does, and they're doing a prisoner swap. Because Ole Miss is sending some guys to LSU. LSU is sending some guys to Ole Miss. This is basically like a trade.
I love it. And I think Frank Wilson could really bring some talent to Ole Miss. So, I think it's a great pickup. I think it's amazing. But, of course, it's still a lot of pieces that need to be put together for both of those programs, LSU and Ole Miss. And only one of those teams right now is in the playoffs. It's Ole Miss.
Yeah,
we'll continue with the playoff conversation tomorrow as we get ready for game 1 of the college football playoffs, Alabama versus Oklahoma, as well as all the other ones to ensue this weekend. You'll get all the news here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone and the Blitz. Tom Abraham coming up at noon. Rich Eisen up next here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Since 1983, Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate's Ann Adams has been your local go-to real estate expert in the area. As a buyer, you can trust